she's living in her parents' home. I think there needs to be some imputation of compensation for living for free at her parents' house. Good morning, Your Honor. Elliot Lumberg on behalf of Charles Knowles, who's appearing via Zoom from my office.
Mark Dunham on behalf of Chelsea Knowles, who is appearing via Zoom from her home downstate.
All right, and Mr. Dunham, this is your client's objection to a child support recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. The issue that we have is I believe the court used a 2021, possibly W-2, where my client was working a lot of overtime, which is no longer accurate. I apologize. I don't have the file in front of me. I wasn't sure I was going to be appearing on it, but I was told that there's an older W-2 that's based on significant overtime through COVID when she was working at a gas station. She's now working in the health industry, and we would request the court to, at the very least, use either a more recent W-2 like 2023. And then the other thing that came up, as the court's aware, is we recently had a hearing, and there's possibly a change in the parenting time schedule, which this happened after the motion was filed, but we believe there should be a new calculation either way, with a more recent W-2 and then the potentially new overnights, Judge. Thanks.
I do see that we did refer it for a new calculation just last week. I'm guessing that hasn't been prepared yet.
Correct.
And that takes in changes in overnights.
Yes.
Okay.
That should do it on, sorry, Your Honor, that should do it on our end. If presuming she would be allowed, I can't imagine she would not be allowed to introduce a more recent W-2. And then that's all. After the last hearing, that's all we would request for right now, Your Honor.
Is her current job full-time?
Yes, it is.
Did she work full-time in 2023 or not?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Not the current job that she has?
Yes, I believe so. Sorry, she's nodding yes. I know she's been working for in the health.
Okay.
Health of the business.
Did you have that information when preparing it or not?
Yes, when we utilized the child support calculation, we inputted the W-2 she submitted from 2023 and the employer's disclosure. So the most accurate information based on that is how that was done.
Again, I apologize, Your Honor. I wasn't privy to the filing of this, but again, if the court does use the most recent overnight order and uses the most recent W-2, obviously we couldn't really object anyhow, Your Honor.
There's going to be a new rec coming out anyways.
Yes, sir.
With some tiers, so there'll be a chance if it is incorrect, but front of court's indicating they did have that information and did use it. Lumberg, anything that you want to say on this matter?
Yes, Judge, we're still in the midst of the objection period to your recommendation. And I don't know whether that at this point is going to be appealed or not. It may. I have no objection to a recommendation being made based on your findings, with the understanding that it's subject to the ultimate rule by the court on the issue of expanding the parenting time.
I don't disagree with that either, Your Honor. So that's
all right. Well, it looks like in the recommendation, her monthly gross income was at $2692.50. Does she disagree with that as her monthly income?
Is that accurate, Chelsea? Sorry, Judge.
That doesn't
No
sound
problem.
accurate anymore, but I don't have my recent pay stub in front of me. I guess it could be. I do think it's a little bit less than that, more like $2,000 a month.
Well, your gross or your net? Figure that I gave is gross.
All right, then that might be accurate.
Your Honor, again, I'm not trying to talk over my client, but if the court's if she was working full-time in 2023, which she was at the same job, if the court's using that W-2 again, I don't.
Okay. So based on the front of the court indicating that they did use that information, I'm going to deny this particular objection, but as indicated, there might be a new recommendation coming out if that other issue becomes an order. So obviously then there'll be a chance to file an objection based on anything that happens on that new support order.
Yes,
Any
sir.
questions, Mr.
Judge, I just have one last issue, and that is based on her testimony at the evidentiary hearing, she's living in her parents' home. I think there needs to be some imputation of compensation for living for free at her parents' house.
All right, well, you could file an objection to address that. Today we only had the plaintiff's, or sorry, the defendant's objection.
Sure. I just, if they're gonna do a new recommendation, I think that at least that needs to be considered in some way.
All right, well, we'll see what that objection comes out to. If it isn't included and you think it should, you'll have the right to object. If it is included and Mr. Dunham disagrees, then he'll have the right to object.
Very
Yes, sir.
good. Thank you.